Welcome to my channel. Quotes, Station. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. You never fail until you stop trying. Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us, universe. A part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest. A kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. The world, as we have created it, is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Once you can accept the universe as matter expanding into nothing, that is something wearing stripes with plaid comes easy. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. The world is a dangerous place to live. Not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Creativity is intelligence having fun. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. Black holes are where God divided by 0. Everything must be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I, or are the others crazy? Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. Time is an illusion. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. Nothing happens until something moves. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. Out of clutter, find simplicity. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Imagination is the highest form of research. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. Reading after a certain age diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are incapable of forming such opinions. A true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem, and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you, mine are still greater. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The revolution introduced me to art, and, in turn, art introduced me to the revolution. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Life is a preparation for the future. And the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract, positive thinking. Laws alone cannot secure freedom of expression. In order that every man present his views without penalty, there must be spirit of tolerance in the entire population. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. It is my view that the vegetarian manner of living, by its purely physical effect on the human temperament, would most beneficially influence the lot of mankind. We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. I want to know God's thoughts, the rest are mere details. When the solution is simple, God is answering. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. Information is not knowledge. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to another. We know from daily life that we exist for other people, first of all, for whose smiles and well-being our own happiness depends. If I were to remain silent, I'd be guilty of complicity. Even on the most solemn occasions, I got away without wearing socks and hid that lack of civilization in high boots. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. All these aspirations are directed toward ennobling man's life, lifting it from the sphere of mere physical existence, and leading the individual towards freedom. No, this trick won't work. How on earth are you ever going to explain, in terms of chemistry and physics, so important a biological phenomenon as first love? Possessions, outward success, publicity, luxury. To me, these have always been contemptible. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best for both the body and the mind. God is subtle, but he is not malicious. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Play is the highest form of research. Everything is determined, the beginning as well as the end, by forces over which we have no control. It is determined for the insect as well as for the star. Human beings, vegetables, or cosmic dust, we all dance to a mysterious tune, intoned in the distance by an invisible piper. It is, in fact, nothing short of a miracle that the modern methods of instruction have not yet entirely strangled the holy curiosity of inquiry. For this delicate little plant, aside from stimulation, stands mainly in need of freedom. Without this, it goes to rack and ruin without fail. Student is not a container you have to fill, but a torch you have to light up. Although I am a typical loner in my daily life, my awareness of belonging to the invisible community of those who strive for truth, beauty, and justice has prevented me from feelings of isolation. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. You have to learn the rules of the game. And then, you have to play better than anyone else. Dancers are the athletes of God. Einstein was once asked, "How many feet are in a mile?" Einstein's reply was, "I don't know. Why should I fill my brain with facts I can find in 2 minutes in any standard reference book?" The only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to have no new ideas. 3 great forces ruled the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. As far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and, as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Past is dead. Future is uncertain. Present is all you have. So eat, drink, and live merry. The only source of knowledge is experience. If my theory of relativity is proven successful, Germany will claim me as a German, and France will declare me a citizen of the world. Should my theory prove untrue, France will say that I am a German, and Germany will declare that I am a Jew. Force always attracts men of low morality. At least once a day, allow yourself the freedom to think and dream for yourself. It is harder to crack prejudice than an atom. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. Everybody is a genius. But, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. If most of us are ashamed of shabby clothes and shoddy furniture, let us be more ashamed of shabby ideas and shoddy philosophies. It would be a sad situation if the wrapper were better than the meat wrapped inside it. We experience ourselves, our thoughts, and feelings, as something separate from the rest. A kind of optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires, and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Teaching should be such that what is offered is perceived as a valuable gift, and not as hard duty. Never regard study as duty, but as the enviable opportunity to learn, to know the liberating influence of beauty in the realm of the spirit for your own personal joy, and to the profit of the community to which your later work belongs. The human spirit must prevail over technology. Learning is experience. Everything else is just information. What really interests me is whether God had any choice in the creation of the world. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. I believe that Gandhi's views were the most enlightened of all the political men in our time. We should strive to do things in his spirit. Not to use violence in fighting for our cause, but by non-participation in anything you believe is evil. Now he has departed from this strange world, a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. Excellence is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. Nothing will benefit human health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as much as the evolution to a vegetarian diet. Intelligence is not the ability to store information, but to know where to find it. Everything that is really great and inspiring is created by the individual who can labor in freedom. I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the lawful harmony of the world, not in a God who concerns himself with the fate and the doings of mankind. Be a loner. That gives you time to wonder, to search for the truth. Have holy curiosity. Make your life worth living. The bigotry of the non-believer is, for me, nearly as funny as the bigotry of the believer. Truth is what stands the test of experience. A society's competitive advantage will come not from how well its schools teach the multiplication and periodic tables, but from how well they stimulate imagination and creativity. Adversity introduces a man to himself. One of the strongest motives that lead men to art and science is escape from everyday life, with its painful crudity and hopeless dreariness, from the fetters of one's own ever-shifting desires. A finely tempered nature longs to escape from the personal life into the world of objective perception and thought. To dwell on the things that depress or anger us does not help in overcoming them. One must knock them down alone. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the truth comes to me. Failure is success in progress. A perfection of means and confusion of aims seems to be our main problem. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others, it is the only means. Paper is to write things down that we need to remember. Our brains are used to think. I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. I don't pretend to understand the universe, it's much bigger than I am. A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success, combined with constant restlessness. Any society which does not insist upon respect for all life must necessarily decay. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive. Thanks for watching. If you like our video, subscribe us. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for next video notification. Once again, thanks for watching.